For over 13,000 years, it was lost to time. A predator of myth, a creature of Ice Age Earth. Its bones lay buried beneath tar pits and tundras, until now. In one of the greatest scientific breakthroughs of the century, the dire wolf has returned. They called it Canis dirus, the terrible wolf. Larger than today's gray wolf, with a broader chest, thicker bones, and a skull designed for crushing bone. It hunted in packs, ran across the icebound plains of prehistoric America, and thrived in a world where giants roamed. For thousands of years, the dire wolf was one of the top predators of the Americas. But when the last ice age ended and the world began to warm, everything changed. The great megafauna it hunted began to disappear. New predators, including early humans, entered the scene. Around 11,000 to 13,000 years ago, the dire wolf went extinct, or so we thought. In 2025, a team of geneticists working on ancient DNA at a lab in Iceland made a shocking discovery. From a remarkably preserved dire wolf skeleton found in Yukon permafrost, they extracted a nearly complete genome, the most intact ever recovered from an extinct Pleistocene predator. For decades, scientists had dreamed of de-extinction, of reviving creatures long gone using cloning and gene editing. But until now, success had only come with ancient plants and isolated cells. This was different. Using a revolutionary hybrid cloning technique in the womb of a specially bred surrogate wolf, the first dire wolf pup was born in a secure facility, healthy, howling, alive. They called her Ghost, the first living dire wolf in 13,000 years. Her senses were sharp, her instincts primal. Though born in the modern world, she carried the wildness of the Ice Age in her blood. But Ghost would not be the last. Soon, more followed. Genetically diverse individuals, created from other preserved samples. A controlled population was introduced into a vast reserve in northern Canada, one carefully monitored by biologists and ecologists. At first, their behavior stunned the scientists. The dire wolves quickly formed packs. They showed sophisticated communication, social bonding, even coordinated hunting, just as fossil evidence had once hinted. It was as if they had simply returned from a long sleep. Bringing back the dire wolf isn't just a biological achievement, it's a question, a mirror we hold up to ourselves. What is nature, if not something we shape and reshape? But not everyone celebrated the return. Some questioned whether resurrecting a long-extinct predator was wise. Others feared what could happen if they escaped their containment zones. Environmentalists warned of unintended consequences. Could they disrupt modern ecosystems? Could they survive at all without the megafauna they once hunted? Still, the project continued, and the dire wolves thrived. In the second year, something unexpected happened. One dire wolf, a young male named Fenrir, escaped the boundaries of the preserve. He traveled hundreds of miles across wilderness and farmland, eluding drones and trackers. When finally found, he was not alone. He had formed a pack, not just with other dire wolves, but with modern wolves. They had accepted him as leader. It was the first documented hybridization between dire wolves and greys, something thought impossible based on earlier genetics. But the wild, it seems, always finds a way. Today, in 2035, there are over 200 dire wolves living in managed wilderness zones. Some scientists are now advocating for reintroduction programs in areas overwhelmed by deer and elk overpopulation. Others envision a world where dire wolves roam freely again, guardians of balance in forests and plains. But the story is still unfolding. We've brought back a beast from the deep past. We've given breath to a creature that once vanished into extinction. The question now is, can the world make room for the terrible wolf once again? 13,000 years ago, the dire wolf vanished into the silence of history. Now it runs again, not as a shadow of the past, but as a symbol of what science can restore. The dire wolf is back.